The signing of the summer. The transfer window has been hot this summer and it has been really, really intense and exciting, and it's starting to take shape. What I thought we could do in this video is rank them. The 10 best signings that have moved in this window. And helping me do it is none other than the British Bulldog that is Ollie Clink.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, man.
They're not getting that off the ground, mate.
That needs to be your thing, man.
I'm not the Bulldog,
I'm going to
mate.
get this going for you.
No, I don't like it.
I think that can be your.
No.
You know how they walk?
Yeah.
That could be your
I'm
thing.
not doing it.
That should be your thing, man. I'm serious.
Right. Well, you can follow me at British Bulldog.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. Like, you need to have your own thing. I've got the 20%ers who are like the most loyal community. They're like in the members scheme that we have on this channel. They are the 20% that watch the entire video.
What have I got?
You've got the Bulldogs.
The woofers.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the other thing. You could do the walk. You can do the bark.
So, am I going to have any dignity out of this?
You can.
What are you talking about? You can do the bark.
You can do the bark. Yeah, if I say a signing. So when we're ranking the signings, for example, if I bring up, I don't know, if I bring up a player that you like, I bring up Liam Dilap.
Well, I go.
That can be your thing, man. Yeah, I think we should really make this work.
It's no wonder you have your own marketing team and you're not the head of it.
Formed your 10, the 10 best signings that have caught your eye this window?
Yes, I have. Have you?
Yeah, I have.
Good.
I've got the 10. I think I've done a really good job on it. Coming in at number 10 on this list is none other than Liam Dilap for £30 million from Ipswich Town to Chelsea Football Club.
Okay, let's explore that first. I think 30 million is good value for Dilap. It was a release clause, wasn't it? I think
it's a no-brainer. It's the best signing because it is the obvious signing. He is a young, prodigious talent that is fairly proven in the Premier League with huge, huge potential that cost £30 million. He scored 12 goals last season.
Is he going to play that much?
Maybe not. I think he'll feature. I think he'll have an impact for Chelsea. You've got to think he scored 12 goals last season, which is basically the only player that scored more than him, I think, at Chelsea last year would have been Cole Palmer. So
good player.
Scored 12 goals for a relegated Ipswich team. Only 2 of them were penalties. The variety of goals were good. I just think this is a perfect signing. I really do.
He's a very, very good player, rate him very highly. If you take your Chelsea hat off, is it the right move for Liam Dilap, given that João Pedro has also come in?
Yeah, I think so. I think it is. I think there was a time when being Liam Dilap, or the equivalent of Liam Dilap, going to Chelsea wasn't necessarily the best thing for your career. We saw players arrive at Chelsea that were young and had a great reputation and didn't necessarily get given opportunities because we were basically the best team in the world. We were trying to be the best team in the world. You know, it was all very well being Gael Kakuta at Chelsea, but were you realistically going to get into the team? You know, it was all very well being Franco Di Santo, but realistically, were you going to get into the team? Chelsea now, you will get opportunities. Liam Dilap will have opportunities to lead the line.
Will it be as many as he might have been hoping for or expecting when he was signed? Do you think there's a small part of Liam Dilap be a bit gutted about this?
No, I don't. I think that Liam Dilap coming to Chelsea would know that there would always be competition for his place in the team. He would know that Chelsea, if he had any kind of understanding about watching Chelsea last season, he would know that we were obviously looking to improve upon our forward line with Nicholas Jackson. He was never going to have it so easy that he was going to have to only displace Nicholas Jackson from the team. And if you think about João Pedro, you think about the way that he likes to play, I think there's room in the same team for João Pedro and Liam Dilap. And that's the beauty of the signing. Liam Dilap is good enough to play instead of João Pedro or with João Pedro. And João Pedro is good enough to play instead of Liam Dilap or with Liam Dilap. I think that for £30 million, with 12 goals to his name, with a ridiculous record in the Man City youth team, with an understanding of a relationship, a pre-existing relationship with Enzo Maresca, I just think that this has to be one of the best signings this summer.
Mate, 30 million's a steal for him.
Steal.
It is a steal.
Steal.
Yeah, he's got a huge amount of potential. I mean, I think that he's got the kind of potential right now where we're talking about the eventual Kane replacement for England, aren't we? We are. Right now, that is his potential. That is his.
And there's no guarantee that he gets there. There's no guarantee that he reaches that ceiling. But what you're buying is the potential. And an element of proven qualities. He scored 12 Premier League goals. The potential that you're buying, though, is only costing you £30 million. It's ridiculous.
Can I do a hypothetical for you, though?
Go on.
Right? Do you reckon that if, let's say, Liam Dilap hadn't been snapped up by Chelsea, because that's the other thing they did really well, Chelsea, with this.
Just get it over the line
quick. Just got in there early and got him before,
Good business.
Newcastle could get him. You know, one of about 1 million players that's obviously rejected them this summer, as I know well. But do you think there's any part of Liam Dilap who maybe would look at it and go, okay, with Isak potentially going from a Newcastle, I could have gone and been a number 9 in a club at the Champions League, and I would probably definitely have started every single week. Do you think there's any part of him that's a bit gutted that he's not going to quite be getting the same game time?
Wait, what question are you asking me here? Is he gutted that he's gone to Chelsea rather than Newcastle?
Essentially, no, but not based on the clubs, based on the game time.
No, I think that he'll believe he can get game time, and I don't think you want to go to a club like Newcastle at the moment that seem to be really struggling to get other players in, and they're going to lose the jewel in the crown. I think if you're Liam Delap, you might have loved the idea of playing for Newcastle when Isak's in the team. Learn from Isak, play with Isak, watch Isak, emulate Isak. That's an inspiring player to go and line up with.
I don't know. I think he's the kind of character that wanted to go and be the main man. I think he wants to be that number 9.
I guarantee you this. At no part of him is thinking, I wish I was at Newcastle now. I think he's probably thinking, that's a bullet dodged. You look at the other players, maybe he'd like to play for Newcastle if Mbeumo was at Newcastle, if Mark Gahey was at Newcastle, if James Trafford was at Newcastle, and the list goes on. But I don't think he'll be looking. I think he'll be really happy with the move. I think it's a great signing for us, and that's why he's 10th on my list. Is he on your list?
He's not on my list, but the reason for that is the game time. As a bit of business, it's very good. I agree with you in terms of the fact you're getting Liam Delap for £30 million. It's just that the element of game time for me that just takes it out of him potentially being a signing that absolutely shines for Chelsea next season. And listen, he might put in the performances where he does, and he does start ahead of João Pedro. There's no guarantee that's going to be happening. Number 10 for me is actually Bryan Mbeumo.
Number 10, okay, he's on the list.
He's on the list. I think it's a lot of money for him, especially as he's 27, I think. But this is a proven player. I've seen a lot of him cover Brentford quite a lot for TalkSport. And this is going to be a completely different Manchester United that we see in terms of that front line, especially if they get Sesko over the line too. Cunha and Mbeumo and Sesko in that team. What you've definitely got, I think, from Mbeumo is someone who is pretty lethal when it comes to finishing. And his numbers are testament to that. You've got someone who plays with so much energy. He's
so you watched a lot of Brentford last year, didn't you?
You
were at the G-Tech all the time. How good is he?
He's very good, mate.
Do you think he succeeds at Manchester United?
This is the only thing, is that it's easier at Brentford to have a game where you go missing slightly. And there were a few occasions last season where that did happen with Mbeumo, but that might be because Brentford were having a bit of an off day. But the thing is, that is going to happen this season for Manchester United. The thing I want to see from Mbeumo in a Man United shirt, and I think he's got the character to do this, is take games by the scruff of the neck. Be the man that makes things happen, that changes a game around. Because there were plenty of occasions he did that for Brentford, but it's going to be so important, I think, in this Manchester United.
So do you think
team.
he succeeds at Manchester United overall? Do you think this is going to be one of the signings that we look back on? Maybe. So what we're doing at the moment is we're predicting the best 10. If we did this same video, even in 6 months' time, the best 10 signings, do you think Mbeumo's still on it?
I think he's still on it.
Think it goes well?
I think it goes well.
Interesting.
Do
you? I think he's a very good player, but I think we've seen very good players go to Manchester United and not necessarily go as they hope. Overall, I think this is a good signing.
It feels slightly different, this though, doesn't it? Because this
does.
isn't a Xerxes, this isn't a Hoyland. This is someone we know has what it takes to play and do well in the Premier League for a lesser team as well. So in terms of stature, of course, but I just feel that this one will work for Manchester United. Having said that,
so he's 10th on your list.
10th because I think it's a big fee for him. It's
Okay.
a big fee, so he has to live up to it.
Okay.
Number 9.
Who have you got at number 9?
I've got Anthony Elanga. I've got Anthony Elanga at number 9.
This is just a Newcastle thing with you all the time. There's always Anthony Elanga's not in the top 10 signings. I'm afraid he's
Why
just not.
Why not?
Because he's just okay. Explain to me why he is, and then we talk about the players that you must have therefore left out.
Okay, firstly, name the last transfer for Newcastle that's gone drastically wrong. We can't really in terms of the last few seasons. They seem to all go right, and Eddie Howe is a great way of integrating them into a new squad. He's such an Eddie Howe player as well, isn't he? The way that he, his raw pace. He's one of, if not the fastest player in the Premier League. How good is that going to be in a pressing front three? the frustration for Langanger is, of course, he doesn't know which number 9 he's going to be playing with next season. Of course, that's going to be a huge factor. But you look at the success last season of someone like Jacob Murphy, who did unbelievably well. Actually, got more assists than Langanger last season in that Forest team. But I think about that ceiling for Langanger, and with all due respect to Jacob Murphy, it is higher than him. I just think he's a player that could flourish under Eddie Howe to a massive extent. And you look at the way he's brought on the game of Anthony Gordon even. When Gordon joined Newcastle, I would say there was a few fans who didn't really like it, weren't that keen on his character, etc. Didn't know that they were, definitely signing a player that was going to become such an important part of the team. I just feel that it will be similar for Langanger in this instance. So that's why he's 9th on the list for me. A lot of people say they've overpaid for him as well, 55 million. But for me, look, Arsenal have spent what on Madueke? 52 million? It's the going rate for that kind of player at the moment.
I don't have Anthony Langanger on my list. I think it's a good signing, but I think it's also a fairly underwhelming signing. I think you can tell that it's quite underwhelming because despite being a compatriot and an international teammate, it hasn't turned Alexander Isak's head, has it? So I'm surprised he's on your list, although I feel like it's tarnished with bias.
I just think that I'm not sure how Newcastle will do next season, especially if Isak goes. I really don't know. We can talk about that in a different video, right? But I just think out of that team now, he'll be one of the star performers. Because he's going to have to be. I mean, maybe. I don't agree. I think you're the only person. It's such a good season last
You are probably the only person that would have him on this list. Okay. But it's your list, and that's the beauty of it. It's your list.
I appreciate it.
In 9th, I've got Milos Kirk.
Good player.
Good player, but more importantly than him being a good player is what it means to Liverpool. It's the cleverness, the shrewd approach, realising that Andy Robertson is in need of assistance, realising that Tsimikas is not good enough, going out into the market and signing a best-in-class player to somehow smooth the transition in that vital cog of the team.
Do you think Robertson becomes the backup singer this season? Kirk starts most games. I think he does.
Yes, I do think that, but I also think that Andy Robertson will feature heavily.
Of course he will.
In those big games. So, for example, when Liverpool are playing a Saturday at Anfield, and then they have a massive game in Europe, and then there's a massive Premier League game. I think Kirkes takes the brunt of it. So Kirkes plays the 2 games, Robertson plays the 1, but Robertson will play the one that's away at the Bernabeu.
Okay, I see what you mean. What, because of big game experience, because he's been there and
Robertson will play a third of the games that he played last season.
I like Kirkes
but they will be, I think, depending on Kirkes' form, of course. Like Kirkes might make it impossible to drop him. But I also think that when Liverpool end up going to play in Paris, I just think that Robertson still has an awful lot to give this team. He just needs to be used slightly more sparingly.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's why I think Kirkes, it's just perfect. The timing of it is perfect. The baton can be handed on in a seamless way. They don't have to rely on Tsimikas anymore, who isn't good enough. It's just a perfect signing.
Yeah.
They looked around, they identified a problem in their team. They then looked around the Premier League. They identified a truly brilliant player that was Premier League proven. 2 excellent seasons.
Confident as well, Kirkes. I like that about him. He's a decent player. I think you're right that he will play a significant number of games. Like I say, Robertson will be used. Of course he will. It's a massive squad and he's an important player. But at the same time, Kirkes will be the man. And I think he's got a swagger about him that he'll be able to deal with that pressure.
Mate, he's a good player. He's just going to succeed. Dominic Szoboszlai's there. The final of the Champions League's in Budapest. I feel like it's all coming together now. So I think Kirkes in 9. In 8, I've got João Paulinho. He's just gone to Tottenham.
Have you?
Good player.
Again, not on my list. Good player.
Good player, good signing.
Good signing. And Tottenham needed a number 6.
Badly.
They really needed a number 6.
More important than Gibbs White.
I think more Gibbs White as a player would have been a really good signing.
I do really as well.
Signing. But at the same time, you're right in terms of the position.
They already had it. I know, and it's sad that he's got injured. But when they didn't get Gibbs White, I was like, okay, they have Maddison, they have Kulisevsky, they didn't have anyone. Basuma's ready to leave. They didn't have anyone that can play that Pellini role.
I'd worry a bit about Pellini's mobility if I'm looking at him as a player, but at the same time,
in there,
exactly. And mate, most tackles in the Premier League when he was at Fulham, and he's got that steel about him, hasn't he? That Tottenham midfield were missing so much last season, and a bit of that is down to obviously the tactics of Ange Postecoglou, but he's also a bit of an older head, isn't he, in that dressing room that some of the younger players, younger midfielders can learn a bit from, and he can take charge of, and he can. Do you know what's going to be important is someone like him ahead of that back four, especially if you've got injuries like we probably will see for someone like Van der Ven or a Romero. Just having a head in there and a bit of experience like Pellini, who's done it in the Premier League, I think will be important.
No, and also, do you know what I think it does? You're signing a player from Bayern Munich, right? Who's been at Bayern Munich, the standards that come with that. But I think that it tells us something about Tottenham and their relationship with Munich. Like, this is Eric Dyer, this is Harry Kane, this is Matthias Tell, this is now Pellini.
They're tight.
Harry Kane coming back next year. This relationship, Bayern Munich, Tottenham, Bayern Munich.
Do you think it happens?
Yeah.
Do you think it happens? Do you think? And if it happens, does he break the record?
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
God, we can't lose that as well, mate.
Player.
We can't lose that.
But yeah, look, I just think that Pellini is an excellent signing. It's exactly what Tottenham need. Who did you have in 8?
I've got Matheus Cunha in 8.
So you're feeling the Man United movements. You're feeling Mbermo.
You're
feeling Cunha.
But almost the point I wanted to make is I think Cunha will be the better signing than Mbermo, and I like Mbermo.
He's a better player.
But yeah, it's his technical ability and it's also his personality. I think to thrive at Manchester United, you have got to have a big personality. Now, obviously, in the past, that hasn't worked out that well for them because some of the egos have disrupted the dressing room. But if you go further back than that, of course it has. This is a club that has been full of some of the strongest personalities we've seen in football. I just think Cunha has that edge to him, but also an astounding technical ability. And I think that we're going to see it much more because there'll be more of a spotlight on it than there was when he was at Wolves. Let's be honest, when he's at Wolves, you might see his goal on the second game to last or match of the day and you go, oh, he looks a player. When he's on this stage, when he's at Manchester United, I just really like this signing. I just think he's going to work well in that system that Amorim has in that number 10. And if they get Sesko, mate, that is a fun three.
So overall though, what's quite interesting here is you've put together your list of the top 10 signings, the signings that you believe are going to work and have an impact. And in those top 10, you've got the 2 marquee players for Manchester United.
I think they're good signings.
So where do you think Manchester United finish in the league then? You must believe they finish high.
Well, this is the thing. They need to make signings in midfield. I think these signings are good, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I think Manchester United themselves will have an unbelievable season because I think there's problems all over the pitch. They haven't signed a new goalkeeper. I think they could do with a new centre-back. They haven't sorted out the midfield situation. So just because they might be banging in goals at one end, I don't necessarily think that means they fly up the table, finish in the top 4. So they do better than last season because it's so difficult to do worse. Okay. Came 15th. I just like the signings of Mbermo and Cunha, and I like the way that they're a tack away from what Man United used to do, which is sign a player on the continent that they rated for way too much money. Oh wait, is that Benjamin Sesko coming through the door? But no, I mean, I just like the way that they've gone for Premier League proven, and I just like Cunha, mate. I think this is a big chance for him to show what he can do, and I think he'll have what it takes to take that on.
I mean, fair enough. I've gone 4.
Is this 7?
Left field. This is 7 for me. Pound for pound, potentially one of the best, but everything considered, Granit Xhaka, Sunderland, Leverkusen, giving up on Champions League football to be part of this Sunderland revolution. Reggie Lebris, can you believe that? Like a couple of years ago, he was an integral part of Xavi Alonso's record-breaking team, and now he's at Sunderland. He'll keep him up. I think he's that. I think some signings are needle movers. This could be the most important signing What's happening, everyone? I'm terribly sorry to interrupt this video, and I really do hope you're enjoying it, but I have something big to tell you. I have started a members section. I've started doing loads and loads of content for my community, for the most loyal subscribers of this channel. If you fancy becoming part of it, I would love to welcome you in. There are some videos on there already, and we have some brilliant things to come. There's going to be Q&As, there's going to be live streams, there's going to be stuff that is simply exclusive for you. So if you want to be part of it, please do join the members section. To find out more, click the link in the description below, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Like, look, Florian Wirtz, for example, is a great signing for Liverpool, right? But I reckon that Liverpool would win the league with or without Florian Wirtz. I think that Liam Delap's a great signing for Chelsea, but I think Chelsea can qualify for the Champions League and win silverware with or without Liam Delap. Granit Xhaka is the difference.
Yeah, he is. He is. Mate, I have to say, obviously, I'm whispering it, and it is difficult for me to take as a Newcastle fan, but what a signing that is. What a signing. He's only 32 as well. It's not like he's over the hill, mate. And, he was excellent in that final season he had with Arsenal. He was excellent in that season with Leverkusen when they became invincibles. How the hell... Seriously, how the hell have Sunderland pulled that off?
It's amazing.
Genuinely...
It really is.
It hurts me to say that is unbelievably impressive. They managed to get him to their football club.
In fact, do you know, now we're discussing it, like, I'm wondering if it's even more significant than some of the ones that I've got above. The ones I've got above are better players, you see.
Yeah.
But I just think that what this means for Sunderland, I feel like Sunderland survive. And the large reason... There are a few reasons why I think they survive, right? You could do a pie chart of the reasons why I think they survive. Big chunk of the pie chart is Granit Xhaka.
Yeah.
He scores goals. He could do a job for Arsenal now.
Mate, he could do a job for most teams in the top six. Do a job. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't necessarily start every week.
No, I think he's a better player now than Norgard.
Yeah, of course.
And Arsenal
he
have just signed Norgard.
Of course he is.
So, yeah, I honestly believe that he is totally capable of doing something magnificent and keeping Sunderland in the league.
I've left him out of spite.
You left him out of spite.
But I do agree it's a great signing, that. It is.
Who have you got in 6?
In 7. In 7, I've got Zubimendi in 7. Because I feel like Zubimendi is almost the signing we've all forgotten about, because it happened ages ago. And there wasn't really that excitement about it. And I felt a bit for him, actually, because he was kind of... Do you remember that time at the start of the window where Arsenal brought in Norgard and they brought in Kepa, and they seemed nowhere near getting a number 9. They seemed nowhere near getting another forward. And I kept finding that, you know, people were then looking at Liverpool's window and going, oh, they've brought in this player, they've, you know, Wirtz, etc. And all Arsenal have done is brought in Kepa, Norgard and Mendy, and everyone was like, oh, they're shopping at... You know, Aldi and Liverpool shopping at Waitrose, that kind of thing. And I was like, I feel a bit for Zubimendi getting chucked in all that, because this guy can play, mate. This guy can play. And I think what it does to Arsenal's team is so exciting as well, because, you know, we know how effective Declan Rice can be. Putting Zubimendi in that number 6 position, they've also, you know, they're going to be replacing some players that have been important to them as well. But I just think the way that this will also release Declan Rice is going to be huge for Arsenal next season.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. I just feel like this is quite low. I think Zubimendi... I agree with every word, but I've got Zubimendi high.
Oh, you've got him high up in your list? Okay.
Yeah, massively.
Okay.
Next on my list, I've got Cudes going from West Ham to Tottenham.
Cudes, really?
I think it's a really good signing, and I also think it's...
Really?
For Tottenham, and maybe I'm saying this because... I'm from London and I kind of know the rivalry between those two clubs. It's such a good signing for Tottenham for the rivalry. It's like taking their... And Cudes has landed and he's immediately gone, I've always wanted to play for Tottenham. You know, it's like... It's just a good... It's a posturing signing. And I think he's a very good player as well. He'll elevate Tottenham. I
think there's a bit of caution with this, because I think when he arrived at West Ham, he was very good. Like, decent player and seemed to fit the bill and everything like that. Last season, I think any West Ham fan will tell you he down tools.
But look at what happened there.
I know, but that means that he has not been in form for a while. You know, whether it was his attitude or not, he's not been in form for a while. So I've got a bit more caution around this. Could work for him. I think he's got the talent for it to work for him. But I'm less optimistic about it than you are.
I think it's a very good signing. Look, if nothing else, they've gone to a London rival and taken that team's second best player. It's a big deal.
But Do you know what's funny? I was about to say, but they're miles better than West Ham
West
at
Ham
the moment.
finished above them in the
and
league.
they finished above them in the
West
league.
Ham
So
finished
yeah,
above
let's
them in
leave
the
that there. But they're on the Champions League. That's going to be a huge factor as to why Cudes has moved there. If Cudes can replicate the form we saw when he arrived in the Premier League, great signing for Tottenham. If he continues to be iffy and it doesn't work out, and if it doesn't work out early on, Rory, as well, what Cudes are we going to get? Is he going to have the hump? Is he going to work hard enough to make it better?
But you've got to rate Frank here. I think Frank is a good man for Cudes. And I think just being at Tottenham, being at a club like Tottenham, I think it will do. And Cudes can have a good season.
Look at what Frank has done for forwards as well in that kind of position. We've already, and Burma's on my list for that reason. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think Frank's the kind of man who can turn that kind of form around and can deal with those kind of players as well. So, yeah, we'll see how it all goes. So that was your 6, was it?
Yes.
So I've got Hugo Ekitike in at number 6.
So have I. Oh well, no, I've got him next.
You've got him next. I like him, mate. This one, I think, out of all of the rejections we've had over this summer that have been drawn out and really frustrating, etc. This one frustrated me the most for loads of reasons. I mean, firstly, the fact we'd gone after him already twice and he turned us down twice. We decided to go in again, and then he obviously goes to Liverpool. I think he obviously, again, it's a bit like that Dilap situation, isn't it? Where he might be a bit gutted about the fact that Isak looks like he might become available and might come in and take that kind of number 9 spot. But this guy can play out on the left. I don't know if you've seen a bit of him in pre-season already, but he looks electric, mate.
No, it's such a good signing. It's such a good signing, not only for what you're talking about and what he can do on the pitch. He can play with Isak, potentially. He can play instead of Isak, potentially. Yeah. And do you know what it's done as well? Look, he's elevated them on the pitch, no doubt. He's given them options. He's going to give them goals. He's such a good player, right? But you know what else he's done? He's helped them with their negotiation. Because now they can posture. And a huge part of any kind of negotiation is having the opportunity to say, we're walking away. That gives you leverage. It's what you have to be able to pretend to do, and the other people have to see a world where you could do it. I don't think Liverpool are going to walk away from this deal with Isak. But they now feasibly could because they signed Ekitike.
And instead of Newcastle.
Oh, so I think Ekitike is just a brilliant signing. I think he's going to have an excellent season.
He's a raw talent, isn't he? I just think he's going to be. I just think he's an exciting player.
Yeah.
And I think.
So I've got him 5th. Where have you got him?
Moments. I've got him 6th.
Okay.
Actually.
So who have you got in 5th then?
I in 5th, and I don't know why it feels like a bit of a pump, but Victor Gyökeres in 5th. I've got Victor Gyökeres.
I've got him next on my list. I've got him in 4th.
Oh, you got him 4th.
I've got him
so
4th.
Higher than me.
Yeah.
Wow. That's okay.
I've got him in 4th.
Surprise actually. That.
Well, do you know what? I just think that if it's going to go well for Arsenal. And I think it could. I think they need a little bit more. I think that there's more to come. But if it does go well for them, Gyökeres has to perform. I feel like this entire team, this entire era, Arsenal need a defining moment. And I feel like Gyökeres is kind of the difference maker. If he lands, all of this works. If he doesn't, it could potentially be forgotten.
Yeah, it culminates in them being nearly men, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I do agree with you on that. And I just think the thing with Gyökeres that I think so exciting is I think one of the main issues for Arsenal over the last couple of seasons, one of the reasons why they've come second, is there's been games where they've been too predictable in attack. You know, they put it out wide to Saka, and then when he was injured last season, I mean, no wonder they finished so far behind Liverpool. Whereas if you're bringing in the number 9 that they have been craving for so long, we're going to see a different Arsenal in the way that they go forward anyway. But the thing I like about Gyökeres is not just a goal scorer. I just think when you add that unpredictability into the attack as well. Look, he might be a player that gets, 12, 15 Premier League goals. Something like that. And that might sound like not the most inspiring return. I'm not sitting here saying he's going to do a Haaland, he's going to score 30 or something like that. I just think the way that he changes up Arsenal as well makes him so valuable as a signing.
Also, when you think about how Arsenal got on last season, they were excellent, unbeaten in fact, against their 2 biggest rivals. They didn't lose to Man City, they didn't lose to Liverpool. The teams that they struggled against, in theory, were the teams that they should be beating. The teams that put in a low block, the teams that sit back, hope for the best, use the dark arts, effectively waste time and pray for a draw.
And so many
Gyökeres should be the difference maker in those games.
Exactly. I think so many Arsenal fans will tell you as well that they love what Kai Havertz does as a false nine and Arteta loves him, etc. And I get that. Fine, he's a good footballer. But there were so many moments, I feel like, in the Cup or in big league games like you've mentioned there, where they just needed a goal to get over the line and wrap up 3 points, where someone like a Havertz would miss the kind of chance that a goal scorer like Victor Gyökeres
We'll make light work of.
Yeah.
We'll make light work of as well. It's not even about like Kai Havertz, whatever you think of him, and I've had many debates about him. I've had many debates on this channel about him. He's profligate. He will miss. What Gyökeres should be doing is, when it floats over and you've got a header 7 yards out, he just finds the bottom corner.
Yeah.
It's just bang, head to goal. That should be the difference. And if it happens, as we're saying it will, I mean, when I spoke about kind of the needle mover, this Arsenal with a centre forward, the reason why I feel like it isn't quite the finished article for Arsenal is because, to be totally frank with you, I think they need more signings. I think they need a little bit more of an elevation. There's talk of Eze or whatever. But with regard to Gyökeres, even if it doesn't work, sometimes you can do the right thing and it not work. Sometimes you can make all of the right noises and it not go your way. And Arsenal deserve credit here because they've gone out and they have signed the absolute gunman, like the geezer that scores 98 goals in 102 games. Like, they haven't tried to be clever. They haven't tried to sign for the future. They haven't worried about sell on value. It's like, go and sign me the geezer for today. They deserve credit for that, and that's why it's an excellent signing, and that's why he's 4th on my list.
So he's 4th on yours?
4th.
So who's 5th on yours?
5th on mine is, so it goes Hugo Ekitike, Victor Gyökeres. Now we're into the top 3, and you're looking at the main man, Pedro.
Okay, so I haven't done my 4th yet.
Okay.
I haven't done my 4th. So I've got Tijani Rinders at Manchester City coming in from Milan. I just think Man City is so interesting next season. I think I think we've forgotten how good Manchester City can be when they do have a Rodri in the team. And then bringing in some of the hottest talents across Europe, including Rinders, and we'll come on to another one of those as well in just a moment too. I think we might even be forgetting how much of a force they could be next season.
No, I agree. I think Rinders are excellent. But do you know this? Are you too young to know Babangida?
I think so, yeah.
You're too young?
Yeah.
Mate, there's a great player in like one of those Nigeria iconic teams, like those iconic, like Taribo West, brilliant. And there was a guy called Tijani Babangida, and the only time I've ever heard Tijani as a first name was
him. And he was a player.
Rinders, nothing. The parents just like the name off the back of Babangida.
There you go, mate.
Can you believe it?
There you go.
I can't believe it.
There you go.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But so, I think he's an excellent signing. I think Cherky, excellent. But I just don't think they're needle movers the way that I believe everyone else on this list is.
But it's weird, though, with Manchester City, isn't it? Because, as much as they have had needle movers in the past, for instance, the signing of Erling Haaland was a let's all pack up and go home kind of moment, right? As much as that has been the case, they're also a system, a team, and just these additions across the board, I think at times could make them frightening, and they'll be much more lethal than they were last season. So, do you say who's number 3? João Pedro?
Yeah.
João
Pedro.
Pedro.
Signing for us. I really do. I think it's an excellent signing. Look, what he is, he's a Brazil international who scored big goals, Premier League proven, scored big goals against big European teams. I remember when he scored, I wasn't happy, but I remember when he scored a winner for Brighton against Marseille. I was thinking, Marseille are so... I love Marseille. I love what they represent. I don't want Brighton to win that game. But I thought it took something spectacular for a Brighton player, and it was João Pedro, to score that goal. Look at what he did the second he got an opportunity with Chelsea in the Club World Cup.
But be honest with me, before the Club World Cup, would he have been 3rd on your list? If you're being completely honest.
No, but he's done maybe not 3rd, because I thought that explosion, the second that he was given even a sniff of an opportunity to play for Chelsea, bang, took it. But he's a wicked player. He's wicked at Watford. He's a really good player. So I think that this is an excellent signing. It's exactly what we need. And in this new look Chelsea, where we have an approach from the director of football and then what I want from a fan, there's a very few select players that actually kind of tick both our boxes. So I want someone who's ready for the here and now, ready to win Chelsea silverware, and he's that. But he's also young, getting him for a bit of a bargain, huge sell on value. He kind of ticks everybody's box. I think he's a really intelligent signing.
Yeah, he's my number 3 as well.
Is he?
I just thought I'd question you on it, but he's my number 3. Yeah, but the reason I brought that up is like I said, he would have been low down in my 10 before the Club World Cup. But I think that explosion we saw from him and the fact that he's so confident again, isn't he? Like he wanted to choose Chelsea because he felt like he could come in and be the main man. I know that I've heard of one of our colleagues, Troy Deeney, talk about him. By the way, he rates him. He says he is Redknapp style, right to the very top, João Pedro. So I like the way that he's coming in. He's got a good chance to lead that line. You look at his goal record at Brighton. It's not amazing. It's not amazing, and I think there were certain games where potentially he would go missing a bit. But I think you can expect that from a young player, and I'm excited to see how much João Pedro develops as well under a manager like Enzo Maresca. And I mean, mate, let's be fair, could be leading the line for a title challenge this season. He could.
I mean, unlikely, but I agree. I think he's an excellent player, and I am really, really excited. And the prospect of him linking up with Cole Palmer, Pedro Neto, so I think it's really exciting, really exciting. So that's where I sit on that. In 2, I've got Mendy.
Okay, so I had him.
He's like the best midfielder in Spain.
I had him low down.
Best midfielder in his you had him low. Mate, do you remember? Have you cast it out of your mind? The event to Berlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah. What happened?
Well, he came on, didn't he? And he won Spain the Euros against us.
Yeah, but I don't like thinking about it, mate. Do you know what I mean? I don't like thinking about it. Do you think it's that much of an impact for Arsenal? So actually, you talked about Yarez being that difference maker. Is it actually Mendy?
No, it's...
Who's the more important signing for Arsenal?
No, the centre forward was the most important. The centre forward, they've got a very good midfield. The centre forward was the most important, no doubt. They need more, is the problem. But I think you add Mendy, Yarez, maybe an Eze, that team wins the Premier League.
Really?
Yeah.
Wins the Premier League?
It's capable of winning. Capable of winning a Premier League. But I
keep backing them.
No, I'm not backing them this year. My tip is no longer Arsenal. My prediction is no longer Arsenal. But I would not be surprised to see a front line of Saka, world class, Yarez, goals galore, Odegaard, world class on his day, and Eberechi Eze, one of the most beautiful footballers, probably my favourite footballer, Cole Palmer aside, to watch in the Premier League. He literally glides with the ball. Him in full flow. It's a joy to behold. That front four could win a league title.
Madueke doesn't do it for me. It's not enough. It's not enough at all.
No, it's Eze related, but it's only Eze related because they've got the centre forward.
Yeah. Yeah, no, listen, and Mendy, like I said earlier, unlocks a lot, I think, as well for Arsenal. And they're already a team that can control games so brilliantly well, and you're adding him into that situation. So yeah, could be. I mean, going to the Emirates this season, mate, is going to be tricky, I think, for a number of teams in the Premier League. So he is your number 2. I've got Rayan.
We must be in agreement on number 1.
Yeah, we've got to be. I'll be amazed if we're not. But my number 2 is Rayan Cherki at Manchester City.
Oh, he's not on my list. More as an over. I don't know that much about him.
Which is fair enough if you don't know that much about him. But mate, this guy can seriously play. And once again, I just think Man City, we've forgotten, mate. We've forgotten. I would expect next season, and I love that Arsenal team in terms of what they're doing. But when you look at the squads at the moment, their squad is the 3rd best. It is. Liverpool's is the best.
Arsenal's is the 2nd best.
No, Man City's is the 2nd best. Man City is the 2nd best. It is. You cannot have a squad with Rodri in it and some of the attacking talent they brought in, such as this guy's going to light up the Premier League, mate. He is. I promise you, he will. Cherki. Okay. So I just think we've overlooked that a bit. I think that Man City.
Okay, so you've got Cherki in number 2.
Yeah.
Which means we both got Florian Wirtz.
Aaron Ramsey. Oh, no. Sorry.
Aaron Ramsdale. We both agree. There we go. Aaron Ramsdale is the signing of the summer. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Yeah. If you're a 20%, you can. Now, of course, Florian Wirtz, isn't it? I mean, we talk about players who are going to light up the Premier League. And the only worry is, and it's almost something you don't want to think about, is obviously his injury record and the fact he's done a couple of ACLs. So
No,
really hope that doesn't happen. But
I mean,
in terms of him as a player, I mean, mate, as well, the players he's going to be playing.
I know, and the manager he's playing for, he's so ready. It's like the fuse is lit, and he is so ready to like light up the Premier League.
Do you think, right? Let's say that Liverpool, and it really pains me to say this, of course, but if Liverpool do get Isak over the line, do you think that the signings they've made this summer are actually not just planning for winning the Premier League next season? It is planning for a dynasty.
Yeah, I do. I think that's exactly what it is. It's about winning the European Cup in Budapest and then retaining it. It's like Liverpool haven't retained a Premier League title. They've never retained a Premier League title, but they haven't retained a league title since the mid-'80s. So first things first, try and retain a league title. And then I believe it's legacy, dynasty, era-defining moments.
Is it? I mean, they head into this season, especially if they get Isak.
I can't see them not winning the league.
Doubles on the cards easily.
Yeah, I can't see them not winning the league, which is retaining it.
Yeah.
And to be totally frank, I can't see them not winning the European Cup. They're capable of winning the European Cup, and they've got a terrible team. They've proved that time and time again.
Yeah, I mean, if Chelsea can beat PSG 3-0, mate,
yeah,
they can come back. Come back.
But no, I mean, Florian Wirtz in this team with Arne Slot pulling the strings, linking up with Salah in front of the Kop in full voice, Anfield on its feet, trying to retain a title. I mean, yeah,
mate. I don't know about you. It actually annoys.
Ekitike, Kirkes. How many of their signings are in this list?
It annoys me so much that I'm saying this, but I'm also like, even as a neutral, which I know it's so difficult for us to be, I'm really excited to watch them play. I'm excited to watch Wirtz.
They will be.
Really I'm just looking forward to it.
It's going to be an amazing scene. And this is the best bit. There's going to be jeopardy, man. There's going to be twists and turns. Things are going to, and that is why football is so good. Thank you to everybody for watching this video. We really do appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with our list? Any signings that haven't been mentioned at all that you would like to put forward for our top 10 list? Let us know. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a like. A huge thanks to Mr. Clink.
Thank you, mate.
The link to his Instagram is in the description below, so go and check that out. And if you're new around here, please do click subscribe and give this video a like before you go. Thank you so much for watching.
Cheers, guys.